This is WhisperSister, and this is going to be a whisper rune reading for HushJadey. And the format is going to be a little bit different than my other videos. I was mentioning to him that the symbols of these runes are actually an alphabet. They're the Old Norse alphabet, I guess. And he suggested or requested that I do a reading based on the spelling of his name, his first and middle name. So I'm not going to choose the stones like I normally would, but I thought I would just pick them out here so that for those of you who like the sounds of the stones, you'll get a little bit of that still. So this is going to be based on the phonetic spelling of your name, Jade. I need that one. And I already know which ones I need. I have actually gone to the trouble of finding, I think, well, I was telling you about the other source of interpretations that I sometimes use when I do my own readings, which I haven't gotten into really with my videos. But I've printed out all of the interpretations of these runes from that website as well. And I'm kind of going to merge the two. The book that I normally read from and then the interpretations from that website. Okay. So this might be a long video, and it'll give you a lot. It'll be a lot of reading. And I think I'm pretty much just going to keep it to the reading because I think that I know you too well to be impartial and not impose my own thoughts on this, which is not what I try to do when I do these readings. So, whether this is just for fun or whether you actually get anything out of this, I hope you do. Let's see, so J. A. So these, again, this is phonetic, so this is a J sound, this is an A sound, and a D. Jade. And then R. Now this is the sound for as in law, or that was the example they gave. So, and then this is K. A K sound. I think it goes like that. Just make sure. Nope, it goes like this. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I guess that's like a K or a C. Alright, so Jade, rock. As requested. Okay. So yeah, I know you sort of find these a little bit nerdy and silly, and that's fine. But having read through this stuff, I think that there's a lot of good stuff here if you choose to consider it. I might start shaking because I'm freezing. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to really add much to the readings because I don't think that I don't think I'm capable of being totally like unbiased or whatever. And if you choose to see this as just for fun, just for a whisper video, that's cool. If it makes you think, or if it, gives you any insight into anything, So, anyway, starting with J. This rune's called Jera, and it's the rune for harvest. So, like, I don't know exactly what this is meant to show, being based on your name, if it's just influences that have sort of followed you and played out throughout your life, or what, really. I'm going to leave it up to you. Yeah, take what you want and leave the rest, and if you want to talk about any of it with me or whatever, feel free. I hope that this gives you something to use. Alright, a rune of beneficial outcomes. Jera applies to any activity or endeavor to which you are committed. My hand's getting shaky. Oh. This is really awkward. Hang on. Sorry. Okay. Stop it. Alright, so a rune of beneficial outcomes. Jera applies to any activity or endeavor to which you are committed. Be aware, however, that no quick results can be expected. A span of time is usually involved, hence the keywords 1 year, symbolizing a full cycle before the reaping, the harvest, or deliverance. You have prepared the ground and planted the seed. Now you must cultivate with care. To those whose labor has a long season, a long coming to term, Jera offers encouragement of success. Know that the outcome is in the keeping of providence, and continue to persevere. Remember the old story about the farmer who was so eager to assist his crops that he went out at night and tugged on the new shoots. There is no way to push the river. Equally, you cannot hasten the harvest. Be mindful that patience is essential for the recognition of your own process, which in its season leads to the harvest of the self. Now, I know you haven't really listened to any of my other videos, rune videos, so I should warn you that there's a lot of sort of symbolic, it's not straightforward. It often uses imagery and symbolism, especially tied with themes of agriculture. I guess that was a big part of the lifestyle of the Norse people, so okay, I'm gonna stop making excuses. If you think this is lame, then you're fully entitled to that opinion. However, I know that you are capable, obviously you're capable, I don't know if you're interested, but if you are, then taking the time to ponder some of these symbols might lead you to some interesting ideas. Okay. Anyway, Jera, now this is from the other source, okay? Jera is the movement of time. Jera represents the symbolism of the spiral pattern of time. It represents the forward movement of time through our hopes, dreams, and fears, as well as backwards through our memories. Jera represents the completion of a cycle, season, or year, or the eternal contrasts of opposites which comprise a whole. The Jera rune often indicates a major turning point in your life. It is a time for transformations, for letting go of the old and making way for the new. Jera brings to our attention that there are greater achievements to be made in the future, but concepts, ideas, and plans must first be drawn in order to be followed to fruition. The Jera rune shows us that it is a time for reaping rewards from seeds sown in the past. It will bring with it a time of happiness and peace, and expectations of prosperity. It is a time of plenty, a time of joy and celebration, Jera indicates a time of new beginnings, new growth, and the fruition of long-laid plans. Jera lets us know that things are once again turning as they should. Keep in mind, though, that it is also a time for hard work, with no time for complacency. This time will not last forever, and you are advised to make the most of it. Remember, being patient is essential for the recognition of your own inner process, which in its time and season leads to growth and harvest within the self. Jera says that a breakthrough of some sort will bring an end to a period when things have become stagnant. Drawing the Jera rune in a reading can also indicate to the seeker that there may be a return of unfinished business which needs to be completed and laid to rest once and for all. Okay, so that's J. Then A is Awaz, which is the rune of movement. Awaz is a rune of transit, transition, and movement, of physical shifts, new dwelling places, new attitudes, or new life. It also signifies movement in the sense of improving or bettering any situation. There is about this rune a sense of gradual development and steady progress, with the accompanying notion of slow growth through numerous shifts and changes. This could apply to the growth of a business or to the development of an idea. A relationship may need to undergo changes if it is to live and grow. Moral effort and steadfastness are called for when you draw movement, another of the cycle runes. Let it be said this way: as I cultivate my own nature, all else follows. I'm going to skip this part because it's basically repeating the other one. Now it is time to turn again and face the future reassured, prepared to share the good fortune that comes your way. The sharing is significant since it relates to the sun's power to foster life and illuminate all things with its light. Okay, and then from the other source, Awaz is energy and motion. The Awaz rune symbolizes inner strength and fortitude. It is a rune of strength, will, and determination to perform one's duties diligently. Awaz represents energy and motion and the force and power by which to achieve. Now, I'm going to leave this part in because we've talked about this one time. The horse has been a powerful symbol in every culture, in every age. In Norse mythology, it is believed that the sun is drawn through the sky by horses. Their relationship with humans is unique in that they have the ability and intelligence to be companions as well as workers. The horse allows us to perform tasks that would normally be beyond our strength, and to travel long distances that would normally be beyond our reach. Horses are known to be strong, swift, loyal, and courageous, and are one of the most spiritual among the animal kingdom. The horse is an animal that never lost its power by being domesticated. In respect to the Awaz rune's connection with the horse, it is not an impersonal energy source, but rather a living, breathing being whose needs and desires must be taken into consideration. So a helicopter car overhead. Hopefully it's not too loud. Rather than be simply used as a tool or a slave, this rune reminds us to only use the horse for its help and never to harm it. The horse is to be respected and cared for rather than used and neglected. Within the Awaz rune we see a duality. Awaz comes to represent the duality of man and his ability to deal with his world. It sees one making choices, weighing up options before proceeding. Awaz symbolizes masculine and feminine qualities and energies and encourages one to use both sides of their personality, both male and female, masculine and feminine. Awaz is finding balance. The stallion and mare aspect come into play within the interpretation of Awaz. The stallion is headstrong and virile, and is the epitome of raw energy. He looks to face the world head-on and on his own terms. The stallion is a powerful tool, but must be carefully controlled and maintained to avoid harming it, yourself, and/or others. Balance must be achieved to harness the power of the stallion and use it wisely. The mare symbolizes fertility, femininity, and the intuitive instincts. She is a creature that works with others and often looks for guidance before acting. Awaz is telling us that sometimes we must lead, but to be a good leader, we must know how and when to follow. Drawing Awaz in a reading may indicate that you need to make new connections. Doing this will draw the energies toward you that will help you to overcome all obstacles before you. Awaz's advice is to seek out those who share your views, attitudes, and lifestyle. Remember that each person who comes into your life, for however long, comes to teach you lessons, and vice versa. Awaz indicates that you have the strength and support to be able to make quick progress on your path, but this depends on being loyal, supportive, and true to those around you. In return, you can expect those traits to be reciprocated. Awaz is telling you, always be proud of your achievements while remaining humble. This will ensure that your travels will be swift, positive, and rewarding. Awaz represents cooperation and adjustments and tells you that with team effort, strength, willpower, and determination, you will achieve all goals set forth with ease. Transportation is indicated when Awaz appears. It heralds change for the better, brought about by gradual development and steady progress. Awaz promises harmony and teamwork, trust and loyalty. When Awaz is drawn in a reading, take note of the runes surrounding it. Awaz is confirmation of the messages of other runes. The strongest message of Awaz is, what is yours will come to you. Wow, that was long. Okay. So that was that one. Now D is Dagaz, which is a breakthrough. 135. What's this one? Okay, here is the final rune belonging to the cycle of initiation. Drawing Dagaz often signals a major shift or breakthrough in the process of self-change, a complete transformation in attitude, a 180-degree turn. For some, the transition is so radical that they are no longer able to live the ordinary life in the ordinary way. Because the timing is right, the outcome is assured, although not from the present vantage point predictable. In each life there comes at least one moment which, if recognized and seized, transforms the course of that life forever. Rely therefore on radical trust, even though the moment may call for you to leap empty-handed into the void. With this rune, your warrior nature reveals itself. If Dagaz is followed by the blank rune, the magnitude of the transformation might be so great as to portend a death, a successful conclusion to your passage. But it isn't. A major period of achievement and prosperity is often introduced by this rune. The darkness is behind you, the daylight has come. Nevertheless, you are reminded not to collapse yourself into thoughts for the future, or behave recklessly in your new situation. Considerable hard work can be involved in a time of transformation. Undertake to do it joyfully. Okay, now, from the other source, Dagaz is balance. Dagaz can mean daytime, the time that divides the darkness, as well as the 24-hour period, known as a full day. Daytime is the time you use to get daily tasks done, It is the time you give yourself to accomplish your goals and objectives. It is the scheduled or allotted amount of hours or minutes you allow for work. Dagaz also symbolizes the contrast between darkness and light, and is a rune of paradox, as well as one of awakening, and metaphorically, of rebirth. Dagaz is the balancing of opposites. It is the counterbalance, which complements rather than contradicts. It is a rune of clear vision and enlightenment. When drawn in a reading, Dagaz is informing you that the light shines on the path before you, guiding you. As long as you remain true to yourself, only good fortune can come your way. You are well protected by the power of the light, and are able to draw upon its strength as well as your own. Dagaz will also give you clear vision. You will be able to see pitfalls and hurdles before they enter your life. This will bring you an added insight as to your true destiny. Drawing Dagaz often indicates a time to plan or embark on a new journey or enterprise. It often signifies that prosperity and abundance is within your reach, and may well be on its way to you right now. Dagaz is telling you that the darkness is behind you, and you are to forge ahead, bathed in the light of the sun. Dagaz often signals a shift, breakthrough, or move of some kind. Dagaz suggests the dawning of a breakthrough, awareness, and awakening. It promises that clarity will light up life, and says that now is the time to embark on a new enterprise. Using one's will can bring about desired change and talks of security and certainty, growth and release. Because the timing is right, as indicated by the drawing of Dagaz, rest assured that the outcome will be positive. Okay, so we're halfway through at 22 minutes, and I'm late getting back for lunch, but I'm just I'm gonna try and speed this up a little bit. Yeah, alright, so that was Jade. And now, your middle name. So, R is Raido, which is, according to this book, journey. According to the other source, it's the effect of your actions. This one's interesting. It's got a slightly different interpretation in the book as it does in the other source. So, anyway, this rune is concerned with communication, with the attunement of something that has two sides, two elements, and with the ultimate union that comes at the end of the journey, when what is above and what is below are united and of one mind. Inner worth mounts here, and at such a time you are not intended to rely entirely upon your own power. Instead, ask what constitutes right action. Ask through prayer or meditation, through addressing the witness self, the teacher within. Once you are clear, you can neutralize your refusal to let right action flow through you. Not intent on movement, be content to wait, and while you wait, keep on removing resistances. As the obstructions give way, all remorse arising from trying to make things happen disappears. I've gotten this one a lot. It's obviously something I need to keep being reminded of, but it's, when you can do it, it's magic. Anyway, the journey is toward self-healing, self-change, and union. You are concerned here with nothing less than unobstructed, perfect union, but the union of heaven and earth cannot be forced. Regulate any excesses in your life. Material advantages must not weigh heavily on this journey of the self toward the self. Stand apart. I should mention, because I don't know if you've heard me talk about this in any of my other videos, but this guy refers to the self with a small s and the self with the big S, capital S, So, the journey of the self. Toward the self is basically, spiritual evolution, I guess. Learning to align your ego and your smaller, weaker self with your true nature and your higher nature, your higher good, or your higher power, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So material advantages must not weigh heavily on this journey of the self toward the self. Stand apart even from like-minded others. The notion of strength in numbers does not apply at such a time, for this part of the journey, the soul's journey, cannot be shared. Another of the cycle runes, Raido, carries within its form the rune for joy. For now the end is in sight. You are no longer burdened by what you've left behind. Heaven above you and earth below you unite within you to support you on your way. A simple prayer for the soul's journey is, I will to will thy will. Such a prayer of intention is proper on any occasion, and is particularly appropriate as a preamble to healing. And what that always means for me, as I'm sure you can figure out, but I think we've talked about this, where I have been trying to make a conscious effort to just sort of ask God, or the universe. I always have to qualify that, but anyway, I ask God for knowledge of His will for me and the power to carry it out. That's straight out of AA, but basically what that means is, rather than forming an idea of something that you want, an outcome, and asking for that, just really honestly wanting to just be open to, what you might call God's will, or just the flow, really. Just doing the right thing, the next right thing that will produce the best, most true consequences for you. It's been something that I've struggled with, obviously. But yeah, like I said, those few times when I've been able to do it, when I have completely given up trying to control things, and just honestly asked, for me it's not even just a matter of, wanting to, for me the thing that I need help with is actually wanting to want the best for myself. Trusting that, if I let go of control, that God's will, or the will of the universe, or whatever, just the natural flow will lead me to the best experience that I can have. And even knowing that, sometimes for me, even knowing that, even really believing that, I still find there's a part of me that wants to be in control and run the show, and it gets in my way. So for me, coming to consciously ask for that kind of guidance and direction is a request to help me put aside my ego and my need to steer, and really, honestly, in my heart, desire to kind of give in to God's will, to the natural flow of things. So yeah, I will to will, I will. I don't like the word thy because it makes me think of the Bible, but that's just me. But that's kind of what that's talking about. Anyway, I'm sure you know that. Alright, but it really, it is magic. That's when the most amazing last, after I let go of that last little grip on the reins, that's when amazing things, completely unexpected things, have happened and led me in directions that I never could have imagined or predicted. And yeah. Anyway, okay. Raido is the effect of your actions. This rune represents the path of a person's life and how it interacts and intersects with other people's life paths. This rune also shows us the properties of movement and cause and effect. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The movement between actions is Raido. Rhythm and movement are important to the concept of Raido and show us that primal forces can be controlled with conscious thought. Sorry, I've got a cough, but okay. Alright. Raido reminds us that although it may seem that we have accomplished our goals, life and change continue, and we must go along with the flow. Raido points out the right or best path among a selection of choices and alternatives. We will eventually end up where we began, but on a higher level and with a better perspective. The journey never really ends. The Raido rune shows your ability to relate and connect, and the amount of control you feel you can exert on your life. Drawing the Raido rune could be telling you that you need to look at your position and feelings in regards to your life as it stands today. Drawing the Raido rune can mean a possible or necessary journey, destination, or transportation. It can mean a path or road to be considered, or a way through a dilemma. It can represent a needed journey in consciousness or a change in viewpoint or opinion. Drawing the Raido rune will show you the right move for you to make and tell you how to go about it. See there? Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Recognize that everything comes in cycles. By following these cycles, you will be able to progress quickly and efficiently and live your life with the flow of the seasons. Raido speaks of a spiritual journey as the soul moves towards its destiny. Raido puts things in perspective. Embrace hard times in the certainty that the harder it is now, the more beautiful things will be in the future. Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna quickly finish these. I'm gonna get in trouble. Okay, this one is Ansuz, which is your O in rock. And it's the Rune of Signals, I believe. Yep, okay. 96. Okay. The keynote here is receiving messages, signals, and gifts. Even a timely warning may be seen as a gift. The message may be that of a new life unfolding. New lives begin with new connections, surprising linkages that direct you onto new pathways. Take care now to be especially aware during meetings, visits, chance encounters, particularly with persons wiser than yourself. When the messenger rune brings sacred knowledge, you are truly blessed. Loki is the ancient trickster from the pantheon of the Norse gods, a mocking shadow of the creator god, as well as the bringer of benefits to humankind. He is a reminder that even scoundrels and arch-thieves can be the bearers of wisdom. When you draw this rune, expect the unexpected. The message is always a call to new life. Ansuz is the first of the 13 runes that make up the cycle of initiation, runes that focus directly upon the mechanism of self-change, and as such, addresses our need to integrate unconscious motive with conscious intent. Drawing Ansuz tells you that connection with the divine is at hand. It is a signal to explore the depths, the foundations of life, and to experience the inexhaustible wellspring of the divine in your nature. At the same time, you are reminded that you must first draw from the well to nourish and give to yourself. Then there will be more than enough to nourish others. A new sense of family solidarity invests this rune. Okay, from the other source, Ansuz is the rune of inspired speech, an incantation as a creative expression. Ansuz shows us the power of speech, which passes along knowledge with the breath of life, from generation to generation. It is the passing on of knowledge through the spoken word rather than the written. Ansuz also represents conscious work and the bringing in of wisdom gained to the levels of awareness, where one can recognize things for what they truly are. There is a certain lack of compassion and perspective in this rune, as situations and issues are often viewed from a distant standpoint when this rune is prevalent. The Ansuz rune tells of increased awareness of what the future holds. It is a rune of inspiration, wisdom, aspirations, and communication. Promises spiritual renewal and progress, clear vision, and good health. This rune represents power, both secular and spiritual, and because of this, lessons must be learned thoroughly, thus gaining the wisdom to live life wisely. Drawn in a reading, the Ansuz rune may be telling you a message of something new unfolding. New beginnings start with new connections and linkages that direct us onto new pathways and new directions. Okay, that's pretty much repetition. But yeah, it just says be aware during meetings, contact with others, particularly those which you feel are wise or knowledgeable. They may hold the key to a query you have and may inspire and propel you forward. The answers to your questions are already here, and you already know them. You just haven't heard them clearly yet. Look for signals and confirmations which are all around you, all the time. Everything has special significance. If you learn this truth, you will understand and take heed of the messages around you. The Ansuz rune drawn in a reading may indicate a need to connect emotionally with the self, others, and with all issues at hand to make the wisest decision or choice. Listen to your inner self and what it is telling you, then move forward with the knowledge and wisdom learned from the experience. The telling to others of your experiences also facilitates in their learning, giving them the option to learn from your mistakes as well as their own, and by heeding yours, learn from them as well. Ultimately, by either our action or lack of action, we are responsible for what happens around us and to us. Ansuz is the rune representing our responsibility to ourselves and our world. It is not the action itself, but the result of that action which counts here. Ansuz, when drawn in a reading, will bring release quickly. This is a release of stress and of blockages preventing one to move from a situation or issue, or the decision to release oneself from a burden. You may feel trapped or tied down to a situation and feel you are unable to escape and see no resolution. When you put your effort into resolution, the effect of the energy released through the Ansuz rune is freedom, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Freedom is only achieved with a strong will, determination, and the true desire to release the burden. Ansuz shows you the effect of your positive or negative action. Trust that everything that comes to you comes to teach. By acknowledging this truth, you will grow in knowledge and wisdom. Okay, and the last one is this one. That's your K, Kenaz. Page 118. This is the rune of opening and renewed clarity, of dispelling the darkness that has been shrouding some part of your life. You are are free now, both to receive gifts and to know the joy of non-attached giving. Oh, you know what? They call it something different. Here they call it Kano. Kano is the rune for the morning of activities, for seriousness, clear intent, and concentration, all of which are essential at the beginning of any endeavor. One of the 13 cycle runes, the protection offered by Kano is this: the more light you have, the better you can see what is trivial and outmoded in your own conditioning. In relationships, there can now be a mutual opening up, which you may trigger and set in motion through your awareness that the light of understanding is once again available to you both. Recognize that while on the one hand you are limited and dependent, on the other you exist at the perfect center, where the harmonious and beneficent forces of the universe merge and radiate. You are that center. Simply put, if you have been operating in the dark, there is now enough light to see that the patient on the operating table is yourself. Okay, and I'm going to quickly read the other source, and then I have to get back to work. Unlike the wisdom gained in Thurisaz, Kano allows us to take pieces of this knowledge with us as we need it. This knowledge often comes to us in the form of a sudden idea or inspiration, and we are able to see clearly, to figure out the answer that was once hidden from us. At times, a simple answer may come when you least expect it. This is Kano. The Kano rune is often associated with femininity or the female intuition. This form of wisdom is often associated with right brain function rather than left brain function, since it does not come through conscious effort, but intuitively or passively by opening oneself to it. For this reason, the Kano rune often represents the feminine aspect, or the part of the senses that is open to messages and unprovoked visions and answers. This is often referred to as a woman's intuition, although men have the same abilities, but are more centered in left brain mentality. Drawing the Kano rune in a reading indicates that you are coming into a new understanding of life and its meaning. New insights await you, but it is not a time for complacency. This new understanding must be used constructively, otherwise it will be worthless to you. Kano tells you to always look for ways in which you can use your insights for the good of others. The Kano rune, when drawn in a reading, can also indicate new beginnings via the letting go of the old. My hand's starting to shake again. The Kano rune also comes to represent the sacred fires of sexual generation. Consider the image of a person carrying a torch, representing the masculine elements of fire and air, entering the cave and penetrating the female realm of earth and water. This joining of masculine and feminine elements results in the creation of the new ideas, new beginnings, new concepts, etc. etc. Sorry. Okay. In physical terms, this can be correlated to the application of fire to mold and shape matter. The Kano rune is directed synthesis brought about by fire energy, tempered with thought. Okay, this is getting a little bit abstract. And here he talks about symbolic of the forging of steel, being shaped, molded, then tempered with water to create form. Kano is the flame of transformation and regeneration. It is the flame of the forge, the volcano, and deep earth energies. It is the controlled flame of the artist and craftsman. It holds the power to create or destroy. It is the primal force of creation. The act of bringing light into darkness is a creative one. It indicates knowledge passed on and can also light the way for others or for personal inner explorations. Kano promises that light will be cast into the dark places, bringing regeneration in its glow. It promises the ability to create new realities that bring with them hope and invigorating strength. The deepest and loudest message of Kano is, what goes around comes around. Remember, experience is what we get when we don't get what we want. Experience is also gained by getting what we want. Kano is that experience. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna presume to kind of put my 2 cents in, as it were, even though I may have some theories and thoughts that come to mind. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that with you. There's a lot there. I hope that you'll choose to think about some of this stuff, because it's definitely a lot of things that I've been learning over the last year and a bit, well, really over my whole life, but actually paying attention over the last year and a bit. And I mean, it works. It's amazing what can happen when you let go. So, anyway, I hope that this was at least relaxing and entertaining for you, if nothing more. But yeah, this is my rune reading for you, and if it gives you anything to think about, then that's awesome.